What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. One of my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down the description. Also, I'll put in the pinned comment. They've got a summer-themed flavor as well as a t-shirt bundle. You can go get it for $9.99 plus shipping. Great way to try Steel's products if you never have and get yourself a pretty cool-looking t-shirt. Also, you guys know I'm a Weeble Preferred Voter. Best promotion they have right now, down in the pinned comment. All you have to do, go click the link, open an account. They're going to give you free shares. You deposit even $1, they are going to give you more free shares. And we have what most would deem huge news today about college football with EA Sports. So what came out today was that at least you'll have players eligible to have the opportunity to be featured in EA Sports College Football, which is supposedly coming in 2024. And this has been confirmed by not only the NCAA, but also EA Sports. So this is essentially the game that we've always hoped for, right? This is essentially you would hope with EA Sports. Let me lay the foundation for what this is going to be able to bring. You should be able to go and buy this game, right? Play this game, embrace this game, enjoy this game, and then take a little file that you make each year and carry that over to Madden. If this can be done the way it used to be done, it should open up a world of quality gaming from a standpoint of you're creating a football universe, an environment, roster sharing, downloading. It really should be able to give you the best game possible. However, EA Sports is not good at providing a playable football game. So despite all that, there's still more than likely a broken gameplay base back behind all of this. But for the longest time, we all knew player 11, player 24, that's not what we wanted. We wanted names. We wanted images. We wanted likeness. But now apparently all those hurdles have been cleared. Now, to the point that perhaps EA Sports waited, knowing that this agreement would be coming along, knowing that changes needed to be made to the college football landscape, I would actually say that's a positive thing for them. I would actually say if they saw on the horizon, hey, listen, we have an opportunity the next year to do this game right, then that is a positive. And they would have been right by waiting, even though I know a lot of people frustrated about the delay. I know a lot of people were concerned at the reasoning for the delay. But if it really was to bring in just the names and likenesses, I can see it, but I can also say that, man, that's something that could pretty easily be patched in. You might not have the likenesses where you want them, but you could certainly have patched in the names and numbers. You could have sold your game a year early, and now you've set a higher expectation of the issue that EA Sports football games have the most of. You know, listen, the players looking how they're supposed to look isn't the problem, right? The facial scanning, the equipment, that's not the issue we have. It's the players playing like they're supposed to. It's the teams in an environment that's conducive to what they actually have on Saturdays, right? College football, much greater from an atmosphere perspective than the NFL. You've got bands, you've got mascots, you've got cheerleaders, you've got tons of things, right, that are all void of Madden. And listen, it's not to say that those are exclusive to college football just because they're more prevalent. You can certainly have unique fans in Madden. You could certainly have cheerleaders in Madden. You can certainly have mascots in Madden. None of those things have been implemented. So there is going to be a lot of things added to this game. And what I find perhaps most interesting is to add them, we've seen as of late, things need to be removed. So what are you taking out of Madden to clone, if that's what you're going to do, a college football game that is so much more dependent on a world than the current product that you have? Now to go forward, and this is where I'm really going to be interested. I really hope that we get some details. How much athletes will be paid for the use of their name, image, and likeness has not been determined, but it is going to be as inclusive and equitable as possible. This says to me a couple things. Number one, you're going to have big name players that might not be in the game because they can't come to an agreement with EA, and that's perfectly fine. you're also going to have players that are probably in the game simply because EA pulls at their heartstrings of, and in some cases, their childhood dream of, don't you want to be in a football game? And offer them a copy of the game, 10 copies of the game, 15 copies of the game for free if they just do this. How do I know that? Why would I sit here and say that? Because we've seen it. We've seen it happen. Jeff Saturday has came out and said, listen, to get my face scan in the game, I had to sign an agreement, and they gave me a bunch of free copies of the game that I didn't care about that I gave to my child, right? Some players don't care. But I think a lot of athletes today are coming up and they do care. They've heard and seen all these cautionary tales. They have a much different perspective in many cases of what their responsibilities are as an athlete, and they might not be so quick to sit there and sign on a dotted line that says, hey, we've got control of your likeness in this video game, your image in this video game, and oh, well, maybe we can port it over to the next video game if by chance you happen to make it in the NFL, because we also produce that game as well. So I think this is a giant gray area that really, beyond face value of coming out and saying, now NCAA football can have licensed players, we need to understand that it doesn't mean the game is now going to come out with the players in it. Aside from that, we all know what's happened. Over a decade has really went past where we haven't had news or information or a tangible game. Yeah, there's been some kind of blips on the radar, but NCAA 13 was pretty much it, and obviously EA had to sit down and say, we couldn't build this game because we didn't have the ability to, and now the ability has been removed, and in fairness, they really haven't made the game yet. I mean, I think February 2021 is when we first started to hear tangible rumors that this game was coming back. And then obviously we know what happened that year, and that changed the gaming aspect for everyone. But I want to end this video with a little bit different of an abridge, because if you follow Mutant League Football, this is a game way back when I had Michael Menheim on my channel after he had a failed Kickstarter to get his game off the ground, and he had an established fan base. They have put together an incredible game, a beautiful game, if that's your style, over-the-top arcade football. But they've done so in a country that is torn by battle, right? They're literally developing a game within a war zone. And yet somehow, some way, they are able to put out a competent product to a fan base that is receptive to it, provides feedback for them to improve it, at a price that is pretty competitive in terms of arcade sports games in the landscape. Yet we have EA here, all the layoffs aside, seemingly dragging their feet, trying to put out a football game that for the last 10 years, people have sat here and clamored for day in and day out. And now they're tasked to actually deliver a quality product, and it's something EA has failed to do in a very long time. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching this video, and I will be back in the week with more commentary.